In this video, I am addressing the firmament. 1523 years ago, the Old Testament, the Book of Kings, was written. It is referred to as the Hebrew Bible. Now I'm referring to Strong's H7549. This is the section of the Hebrew Bible that refers to the firmament, meaning there is a glass-like dome structure that's covering the earth, like a snow globe, that separates the dry earth below from the water above, and that the earth is not round but flat. So this is the story that is roughly around 1523 years old. Of course it originates from the Bible. Whether it's the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Book of Kings, Revelations, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's all originating from the same authors. The story goes like this. In ancient Near Eastern cosmology, the firmament signified a cosmic barrier that separated the heavenly waters above from the earth below. In biblical cosmology, the firmament, Hebrew H7549, is the vast solid dome created by God during the Genesis creation narrative to divide the primal sea into upper and lower portions so that the dry land could appear. Now here, this is where it all falls apart, because we have something called weather and rain and wind, and there's no such thing inside a glass sphere. How could you have inclement weather patterns, seasons? You have rain, snow, sleet, hail. You have hurricanes, tornadoes. Where is all of this coming from if we're inside a glass enclosure? And who made the glass? And where did the glass come from? And if we're in glass, how are we breathing 6 billion years later? Because inevitably and eventually the air would run out. I've also made a point of making a video earlier today saying, where is the wind coming from? Is it generating itself from nowhere? And the seasons. And if we're underwater, how is the sun shining through that is supposed to be above water? Because to my knowledge, when you're in a swimming pool looking up at the sun, the light behaves differently in the water. It refracts. It doesn't beam down on you because it is diffused by the water, the body of water. This is why people are incredibly naive, and I don't even want to say the word. It begins with an S, but it rhymes with Cupid, and they just believe this nonsense. You know, of course this originates from the Bible. This story is only 1523 years old. The age of the earth is over 5 billion. So what was the story before the Bible was created? You see how I can easily pick apart these things? You know, it's so easy to go with this nonsense, this planned agenda, and this mindless, insanity that people just go, oh yeah, that's the way it is. This is the reason why rockets don't go straight up, because they'll crack the glass and we'll be flooded with water. And they honestly believe this, that the earth is flat, that we're in a glass dome, and that the dome above is water. And that's why rockets can't go straight up. So this is the reason why people are so easily controlled, because the Bible is the oldest known form of propaganda. So let me give you a brief understanding before I end the video. The folks running the show now, it's all direct lineage to those running it back then. It's all a bloodline. It's the same group. So to believe this insanity defies all forms of common sense, intelligence, logic, inductive, deductive reasoning, proactive autonomous intelligence. I can go on. And I am not a supporter of science. Absolutely not. I am against it. I'm an opponent of science. I'm not a proponent of it. So I can tell you that this story is just, I can't even wrap my head around it. We're in a snow globe. And where is the weather coming from? How are we still breathing 5 billion years later? Don't you think if we're in an englassed sphere, if we are in a totally enclosed sphere, that the air would run out at some point? Where does the weather come from? Where does the wind come from? How is the sunlight beaming straight through underwater? And to the last of my knowledge, if the sun reflects off of any shiny surface, doesn't it glisten? And doesn't it glow? Like, in other words, if the sun shines off of glass, doesn't it have that shine to it? It glows. If any surface that's shiny and the sun hits it, it's going to start, emanating its own light and blind you. That's not happening. I don't see the sky doing that. It's just lunacy, folks. You can easily pick apart all of these things. All you have to do is just have common sense. And that's it.